So I told myself that I was going to make more videos and be more transparent. It's just so much, and I just get tired of crying and talking about my health stuff. So I stopped sharing. Then I realized I'm cutting myself off from anyone who is struggling with keeping their head above water, dealing with depression, who's dealing with chronic illnesses. So let's dive in. I deal with chronic pain. Those who know me know that I've been dealing with a long road of health issues. And this is just another experience. But I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't go to work. I went to work last Monday and couldn't go back. And I deal with going back and forth with my mind. I did some yoga. That caused pain. It just gets frustrating, trying to do the things that are good for you and ending up causing yourself more pain. I remembered Tuesday that if I call my hematologist nurse, that they will be able to call the hospital and inform them that I need a bed instead of going into the ER, which it could be 18 hours before you are able to get a bed. But anyway, I did that. I called Tuesday. I didn't hear anything on Wednesday. Then Thursday night at around 6:30, I got a call from the hospital saying that they have a bed for me and to come in. I asked my youngest sister to drop me off. They had me on the 10th floor. In this past year, I've been telling the people that are helping me deal with the sickle cell and the depression and PTSD and the nerve pain and all this stuff that I don't want opiates anymore, because I believe dealing with what they typically tell doctors to do with people with sickle cell is to give them pain medicine and wait it out and with fluids. But the pain became so extreme. I would wake up and just be feeling like I was electrocuted 24/7, which made my mental health get really bad. And I'm still climbing out of it. Anyway, so I get here Thursday night. they have me on a floor where they can't administer other medications. Like they're offering me opiates, morphine, Dilaudid, and I'm like, no, I'm not taking that stuff because I feel like that's what's caused, whatever. It's not something that I want to take anymore. So, in my chart, my hematologist has written out what the plan should be. And the plan is ketamine. But I was on a floor that could not monitor me to be on that medication. So they had to move me. But around 3 a.m., I was told later on after I got to the 9th floor, I started at the 10th floor, they moved me to the Pavilion 9. I was told, like, wait, let me just see, let's talk about how it happened. I'm sitting in bed, and a woman comes in from the door on my right, saying that she's gonna sit with me. And I'm like, what? I told them that I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm fine. I'm not in that state of needing someone to help me in that way. Because I know from one prior experience of dealing with SI, suicidal ideations, what the plan is of, they need someone to sit in the room with you to make sure you don't hurt yourself. And I'm not in that space. She was saying stuff like, I don't want to have to call security or take away your things. Or then she was like, but your things should be already taken away if they're calling me. Like it started to not make sense for her. Like, why do you still have your phone and stuff? And I'm like, I don't need someone to watch me. I don't need a one-on-one. But in the system, a doctor had started all of this because a nurse, apparently at 3 a.m., did an assessment but didn't finish it. But in the computer, because of this, it looked like I was in distress, I guess. Because now they had to call in psychiatry, and the protocol is like, okay. So the protocol was I needed to have a student psychiatrist ask me personal questions that I didn't want to answer. And I had an attitude. I didn't want to answer it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, what is going on? Like, this feels like some Black Mirror shit right now. Like, that's what I said. Like, I'm glad that mental health is being taken more seriously, especially in this country where people still are fucking assholes and don't acknowledge that life can literally break us down, not just physically, but mentally. And the mental part is probably the most important piece because it's what helps us direct our lives. Like, we can't even get into what really is going on spiritually. We can't even deal with the mental and the emotional piece. Like, we're so many of us are so still stuck on the physical. It just boggles my mind, but it is what it is. That's not the point. I don't know. I've just been going through it. I had a car accident the day before Valentine's Day. Had to deal with that. Now, while I was in the hospital, I don't know what day it was, but someone from Geico called and telling me that it's considered totaled. So now I have no car. And I'm just like, okay. Like, it's still not worse than sickle cell. Nothing is worse than not being able to manage your own body, and at times your own mind. I'm so grateful to my tribe, my mother, my siblings. So much happens, and just like, I don't know how people live this life alone. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. But trying to get out of here, even though, like, today, even though the pain's not like fully calmed down, because honestly I don't know what that feels like anymore. There's always something going on, but this is at least manageable. It's not as acute as it was, because I have stuff that still needs to be done. That's life, man. I'm grateful to the doctor, Dr. Stone, who has, you know, worked with me without much pushback when I've been advocating for myself about feeling like I need a bag of blood before I leave. Because they were telling me, they tell me every day your hemoglobin is 7.7, your hemoglobin is 7.6, your hemoglobin is 7.4. And when it got there, I'm like, okay, so how low are we trying to let it go before we talk about a blood transfusion? Because I know if I leave here and try to make it 2 weeks before my exchange transfusion, I ain't gonna make it. I'll be right back in here. So please just give me a bag of blood. Which they did. This is the remnants. My second IV. My first one infiltrated while they were trying to give me blood, so there's blood in my arm. But that's still not even the worst. Other stuff, I'm like, it's just too embarrassing and disgusting to talk about. But the point is always to keep pushing, regardless of all the stuff that comes to hit you. Literally, figuratively, a lot of my hits I feel like are internal. And that's when I'm like speaking to like just my mental state, reframing a lot of stuff. Like, I have detached retinas, and I'm struggling to like get myself to have surgery. Like it's just coming up because I've had so many surgeries. I've had so many surgeries, and you're never left the same. I got my second kidney transplant. Like I can't pee straight, and I know that's TMI. It's just like a fucking water sprinkler, and you still got to be grateful. Like I'm still here. I'm able to pee because when you have no kidney, you can't pee. But it's just so much. It just makes me sad. And now it's my eyes, and that's what sickle cell is, just pervasive in every way. It's fucking treacherous. It doesn't let up. I just have to keep going. And really, I just want to just sleep because I don't want to feel the pain. The nurses were really good about, like, the simple things. Like, sometimes I'll be like, yo, I know you have a whole lot of people to take care of, but the little things, they matter. Because they're not little to me. Like, I'm photosensitive. It just feels like it just blows my whole head up when it comes to the light hitting my eyes. Keeping the door closed because it's just, sound is just too much. Like, it's just what it is. I had a conversation with my mom. Like, that woman is, it's just a complicated relationship, and at the same time very simple. I've just had so much frustration with not being able to lead my own life the way that I envisioned, and at the same time feeling like I'm not living up to what the investment has been put forth into me. Feeling guilty and ashamed because all I do in my mind anyway is just give her so much pain because she witnesses all of my pain, and it just breaks my heart, and I can't. And I'm like, I can't have you be my main caregiver. Like, the lines are just so enmeshed, and I had pulled away, and I felt guilty for that. But at the same time, it's like I have to be able to learn how to deal 100% on my own, and I'm still at 44 cannot do that. And I'm just telling her, like, even now, in that moment, she was concerned and wanted to see what she could do and buy me a new car. And I'm here in the hospital laid up, and I'm just like, yo, this woman, I love her so much, and at the same time, it's like I just want to be able to give her positive news in my life, and let it be received positively, because there's just been so much drama. She acknowledged her own depression, and that was huge. You don't understand. That's not what you do in a Nigerian household. There's just so much growth that has been happening. And my message will always be, just keep going. No matter what, just keep going. You are still here for a reason. No matter how little you feel like you're contributing, you are still God's child. Keep going.